In the event of an emergency, the first people to be saved are children. But what happens when a child is in trouble and only other kids are around? Today I'm going to tell you an amazing story of a heroic child, and also the bizarre way that this child was able to save the day thanks to a TV show. I'm Charlie, and today we're going to look at an 11-year-old boy finds a little girl buried alive in the sand. Before we get into it, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too. One sunny day in 2013, Alyssa Bostic, a 5-year-old girl, was playing in the sand. She was at the Marina Dunes beach in Monterey, California, USA. She was doing something I'm sure we all did as kids, which was making sand caves. She made a sand cave and went into the small hole that she'd created in the sand. But when she did this, the unthinkable happened. The sand cave collapsed right on top of this small 5-year-old girl. Alyssa was stuck inside and she was not strong enough to break out of all the sand. She couldn't escape and was buried in the sand, and there was no one around. Time ticked on and on until an 11-year-old boy named Connor Fitzgerald walked by. Now, Alyssa was totally buried under the sand, so Connor couldn't see her, but he had an odd gut feeling something just wasn't right. Connor then saw Alyssa's bag in the sand and realized something was very wrong. He looked around and then noticed the top of Alyssa's head poking out of the sand. There were no adults anywhere near the area, so Connor knew he had to act fast. He tried to think about where her head and body would be in relation to what he could see above the sand. He then tried to dig Alyssa out of the sand despite being only 11 years old. He knew that he needed to free her body area first and then her head. So amazingly, he dug Alyssa out of the sand and pulled her out. But that's when, to his shock and horror, she was unconscious. There was sand all in her eyes and she was knocked unconscious. Connor had no idea how long she'd been there for and wasn't even sure if she was alive. As well as in her eyes, sand was also in her nose and mouth. That's when Connor thought fast and remembered back to an episode of the TV show NCIS. On the TV show, he witnessed CPR being performed, and that's when he did his best to try and perform the same CPR he saw on TV. Amazingly, his quick thinking from that TV show saved Alyssa's life. The CPR worked and Alyssa woke up. Alyssa's parents then went back to the area and called 911. Paramedics soon got to the scene, but Connor had already saved Alyssa's life. Paramedics even said that if Connor hadn't done what he did and acted fast, Alyssa wouldn't have made it. Thankfully, within a few days, Alyssa made it back to full health. And Connor Fitzgerald's dad, Tim, says he's incredibly proud of his son. Also, Alyssa's parents say they're super thankful for him saving their child's life. Connor's bravery and quick wit changed the course of history for an entire family that day. Instead of panicking and running to an adult, which would have taken a long time, he thought fast and acted on his own. Most kids are told to seek out an adult if they're ever in danger. But instead, he used his own intelligence and survival skills and saved the day. This really shows that we must remember safety on beaches, not only for kids, but also for the parents of those kids. Sand dunes can easily collapse on you, and you may not have Connor there to save the day, so watch out for your kids on the beach. But luckily on this day, Connor trusted his natural instincts, went beyond the call of duty, and saved a life. Most 11-year-olds are playing Fortnite and coloring in, and that's all fine, but you really have to give this kid credit for saving the life at just 11. He was also very nonchalant about it in a news interview and said anyone would have done the same thing if they were put in his position. But now it's time to make your opinion heard. When you were 11, what would you have done in this situation? Would you have A, panicked, B, went to tell some adults, or C, saved Alyssa's life like Connor did? Let me know in the poll in the top right corner. If you want some more amazing videos, then check out my second channel. There'll be a link to that on screen in a moment. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.